Hey guys, so this video is brought to you from the inside of my dream car that I recently picked up. Some of you have commented and said nice congratulations and I really appreciate that. Uh, Talking, I guess, mostly to my Twitter audience because I don't really I'm not really super growing my YouTube following all that much yet. I deleted videos and just ones that were kind of long and a lot to chat about it. But I have something for you today. I'm thinking about my habits and about the idea suggesting to your mind that if it if it's if you need to make a habit, it's kind of implying that it is a force system, that basically, like, you wouldn't do it if it wasn't a habit, so you have to make a habit, and there's reasons why you have to make something a habit. And I mean, yeah, you know there's some beliefs that come with this, that just because something is challenging doesn't mean that we're not wanting, that we won't do it unless it's a habit. There is something to, like, auto automaticity, as far as the fact that, like, there's some things that's hard that you have to do them several times before you acquire the skill. But once you acquire the skill and enough practice, you should be able to do it effectively. Sorry, there's people in the background. People here. I came out to the park and got people around. But anyways, so the fact that you would have to force a habit, to me, that suggests that it's not a natural thing, or you're overcomplicating a natural thing. So I've just been kind of playing around with obviously there's certain things that if they're pleasant, it seems that would go without saying, that you don't necessarily need a habit to do that. On the other hand, there could be some people that would say you would, just because, setting up, taking the time to do the thing, or I mean, there's certain elements of how you create habits that you could, in fact, imply to something that's pleasant. But I don't know. I'm just thinking, like I said, that if it's something that you don't need to be thinking about, I need a habit of this, it's probably just because that's like a natural expression of what makes sense. Like, um, again, without the overcomplication and just habit thinking. I think that sometimes we try to go against the grain so much to be successful, that we assume that if it's not difficult, to whatever degree, then it must not be something that is worth doing or worth our efforts. So we feel like we have to struggle about everything. And if you times that by a bunch of areas of your life, instead of just, like, working with the natural flow and doing things as it comes up, you're like, I gotta force myself to do it every so often. Or the point of it is that when something needs done, you do it. And by needs, that's also a relative word to what does needs mean. So I'll leave that undefined. I'm not trying to define that per se, but so I came up with a destiny filter, in that goes as follows. It's whenever blank, I blank. So very, very open-ended. But whenever, that again goes to the timing thing. Whenever I'm hungry, I feed myself. Whenever I didn't explore a bunch of details because I was more focused on the habit side of things. But that point, that whenever something needs to be done, whenever it's the right time, whenever, but so there's whenever, whenever something is a certain way, then you do this certain thing. And some of that's, you know, true, but doesn't have to be true every time. And I think if people, again, or people are trying to force themselves to be doing this or that thing, they may overcomplicate something that, like, it can create anxiety and guilt when it's not really addressing, doesn't really need to be done. We're just trying to force a system to express itself, when maybe that isn't the best system, and we're just spending undue energy trying to create this habit that like would do just as well if it wasn't a habit. You just did it when when you need to. Not I'm not concluding that there's not something that you need to do on a regular basis, because there are multiple things that do need to be. I'm just trying to get at the angle of uh the mindset of like, don't try to so the other one that I came up with, I'll just jump to that, is I don't need a habit of fill in the blank. So that right there is, if I don't need a habit of doing the dishes. Do the dishes still need done? Well, yeah, but like, if I set it up right, I can just do them periodically whenever they need, done. Not every morning at 5 o'clock I'm gonna do dishes. Or I'm just saying, like, worst case scenario, it's not, quote unquote habitual. It's not a forced system, and they go undone a little while. That's just a silly example, but there's tons of things in our life like that we try to force, when maybe in all actuality, you can't, not everything can be a priority at once. You have to have certain things that you drop in and visit. You also don't want everything to have to wait till it's in crisis mode to address it. So obviously, what I'm saying, there's depth and breadth to it, and you have to map that out, kind of like where it is and what it means to you. But just thought I'd get that idea. I'm on the verge of some personal breakthroughs of how to apply this type of stuff, and just wanted to throw that out there and get your wheels churning while while I'm in the middle of it too. Again, not nothing super conclusive, but just that the idea of, like, I'm not saying don't do anything challenging, or don't. I mean, you can challenge yourself spontaneously in a lot of different things as they come up, as something that is either, it's pertinent, a priority, needful, a whole host of descriptor words that, that make it make sense. That it doesn't necessarily have to be a habit. Just because it's a good thing that helps you, it can be a random. I think randomizing things a little more. I mean, I've been working to try to, have 90 of the best habits or something like that. Something that's ridiculous. That's just like, I don't know. I've never actually thought that up, but I'm just making stuff up right now. I'm talking about, like, the exaggeration of, that could be a thing. And I think we might be over. There's some people, I myself, I overcomplicate the idea of habits, and I'm trying to force it. So again, like, if it's something that you wouldn't do without a forced habit, you might consider how important it is for you. And then, if it's, don't stress and just do it the bare minimum if you need to. I mean, if it's not one of those things that obviously you don't go, well, this is something that I feel like it's important, so I'll force it into a habit as well. The whole point is to just don't force stuff. Is what I'm getting to here. And again, I'm gonna. It's a mindset shift for me. So I'm not saying I know how to do it exactly, because I've spent so much time thinking of the habit mindset. So basically, good luck, and I hope you find something useful in this concept, and I hope it makes your life flow better. So Hope you have a good day. In the Challenger, my dream car. I wanted it for 12 years, and finally it's arrived on the premises in my life. Just went out yesterday and took a bunch of pictures. Stopped at 3 or 4, maybe 5. Oh, I guess it was like 5 places, and did a little photo shoot. The first time I took it out, I went out and took pictures of the beautiful country, and then realized I should have the car in my photos. So went out and redid that. Just had it, like I said, I think this is the second weekend. I guess I bought it 2 weekends ago, and then this is the second one. It's technically third that I've owned it, but super fun. So hope you get your dreams and goals. I wish you all the best success. We'll talk to you later.